Good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm Ollie, it's Make Me That Guy, and the subject of today's fashion video is men's rock and roll fashion and the 10 essentials to achieve an easy rock and roll look. Okay, so number one has got to be the leather jacket. You see it? I'm wearing one. A rock and roll style leather jacket. Here we've got this kind of 50s grease lightning looking leather jacket. These are super cool, right? It's always going to be a staple part of the rock and roll look is the rock and roll leather. You can go for a style like this one, or we're going to flash up a few more really good examples on screen right now. So grab yourself a leather jacket and you're going to be rocking that, all right? Point number two is to accessorize, all right? We want loads of jewellery. We're going to flash up a rock and roll wrist right now. That's it. You see that? It rocks. We've got loads of rings on, lots of silver jewellery. Gold isn't rock, silver is rock, okay? And it's also going to go with the zips on my rock and roll leather jacket. So as you can see in the picture, we've got skulls, we've got hex symbols, we've got snakes. This is all rock and roll imagery. We want that dark metal feel to it, and we want to overdo it. You know, more is definitely not less. Less is more. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying. You want more, right? You can have a ring on every damn finger. You can be wearing silver chains, rock and roll earrings like the one I'm wearing, lots of jewellery, big studded belts. Decorate yourself, make sure those accessories really set off your rock and roll look. And we're going to flash up a couple more examples now of accessories and jewellery which we like. Number three is boots. Leather boots, all right? If you want to be a rock and roll guy, stay the hell away from sneakers, trainers, whatever, and get yourself a pair of leather boots, right? If you want to go for that more modern, smart rock and roll look, we're going to flash it up now. Then go for a pair of Chelsea boots, right? They're really cool. They've got a very new age rock feel to them, very modern, almost indie, right? If you want to really rock the party and look a bit more classic rock, then let's go for a really messed up, vintagey looking pair of boots like the pair we're flashing up now. Or maybe a pair of Dr. Martens, which we're going to flash up now. And here's a few other examples, which are all totally rocking, which you can also wear. Leather boots is number three. Number four is vintage ripped up clothes, and especially vintage ripped up skinny jeans. Okay, by vintage, the real word means that it's secondhand and sold in a vintage shop, right? However, nowadays, mainstream fashion has raped that term, and it now means that you pay £100 for something which looks old. So, if you really know how to buy vintage clothes, then go in a vintage shop and buy them. Old, second-hand, worn-in, rock and roll looking clothes. If not, go on the high street and buy some fake vintage clothes. All Saints here in England is a perfect example of someone who produces extremely expensive vintage looking clothes, right? I'll go back to the real staple part of the vintage look, and that's got to be the skinny ripped up jeans. So we've got a couple of examples of rock and roll guys here. Looking cool. Check out the ripped jeans, the boots, the leather jackets, the accessories. That's the style we're going for. Vintage clothes, central to that rock and roll look. Okay, next point. What you can see from the flash ups we've had already is a lot of black, right? Keep it dark, right? Keep it rocking, okay? So keep your clothes dark and black and rock and roll and gothic. Very metal is the vibe we're going for, right? So black clothes give you that kind of dark, deep rock and roll look. So we're going to flash up a couple more images. Remember the ones from the last point. Everything is in black. Black everything. That's the style of the clothes you want for that rocking look. Point number six is to get a cool hat, right? There aren't too many hats you can wear if you want that classic rock and roll look. However, right now, the wide brim fedora hat is super cool. And also a little black beanie can look pretty cool as well. That's very US rocker looking. So check out these two images we're flashing up. These two dudes are rocking their hats. And that's going to really help to set off that rock and roll look as well when you mix it in with all the other points we're going through right now. Number seven is long, messy hair. All right, I look like a complete twat. Right, but anyway, right, long hair. If you really, really want to epitomise the essence of that rock and roll guy, grow your hair long. Grow some facial hair, right? We want calculated scruffiness. Bit Kurt Cobain. We want long hair, stubble, beards, all that crap, right? It looks good, it's rock and roll. Rock and roll fashion is saying, yeah, I don't care, I'm rock and roll. Except you do care because you're watching this video, right? So anyway, rock and roll fashion is meant to look very like, you know, off the cuff. However, we're calculating being off the cuff, all right? That's fashion. Our next point is going to be no branding, okay? Rock and roll guys do not have any branding, so no designer labels, okay? No sports labels, nothing which shows where that product is from, right? You wear the clothes don't wear you. About the only thing you can do is wear a vintage rock and roll t-shirt, massive trend at the moment, which I actually hate if it's on people who have no relevance to the band they're representing. But if you're a rock and roll guy, you're wearing the shit you love. You could rock an AC/DC t-shirt, an Iron Maiden t-shirt, something really cool and iconic like that. A Guns N' Roses t-shirt, Rolling Stones t-shirt. These are all classic, iconic rock groups, and that's going to help to set off that look, and it's going to show you're a rock and roll guy. That's your style, that's you. All right, so no branding, maybe vintage, iconic rock t-shirts. Number 9. This point is slightly more random, but it's a look that we really love. So we're going to flash up now denim and leather vests, or waistcoats as we call them in England. Or are they vests? I don't know. Let's think the Hells Angels. Let's think Sons of Anarchy. All right, that guy rocks. Okay, Sons of Anarchy, the blonde dude, rock and roll. What's his name? Charlie Hunman. That's it. Think the Kings of Anarchy. It's the Sons of Anarchy. I don't even watch it, but I still know who he is. It's iconic shit. All right, so that kind of cut-off vesting, we can see it flashing up now, and we can do that in denim. Right. The leather ones, okay, it's great to have patches on, like an old Hells Angels jacket. It's super cool. You're going to put a t-shirt underneath that, accessorize the hell out of it. It's going to look great with a fedora, all the different stuff we've been talking about here now. With the denim one as well, you can stick badges on it. That's why the denim ones are so cool. You can get any badge you like, studs, anything with relevance to you, and you can sew them onto your denim rocker jacket. Keep it dirty, keep it scruffy, and really customize it to show the kind of music and the kind of style that you're into. So we're going to go for leather and denim vests, and if you want to, you can customize the denim versions. Finally, right, we've got to say it. I don't want to say it. It's got to be tats and beards. We briefly mentioned the beard in an earlier point, but tats and beards are very rock and roll. They help you look a little bit badass. So if this is a life decision for you, get some ink, cover yourself in tats if need be. The more edgy you look, the more like you just don't give up. That's rock and roll, baby. And a beard also looks really good with that whole style. So let's flash up a couple of beard and tat rocking rockers right now. Loving it, all looking cool, man. And there we have it, gentlemen. That was our 10 simple fashion fixes to master your rock and roll style. Keep on rocking in the free world. Keep on watching the channel. It's Make Me That Guy. I'm Ollie. Plenty more videos coming soon. Be sure to subscribe, give us a like, give us a comment, and stay rocking, baby.